Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, here of Psych, Defender of the Fatherland. We're off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on... Christ, I actually forgot the name of the map. It's La Glaze, there you go. You just briefly forgot it. Then it's La Glaze. In the south, we got Overlord fighting here for America, freedom and democracy, taking on the role here of the 35th Infantry Division, charged with holding the line as a crouch attack under the command of Gentlefox. Taking on the role here of the Panzer Division here with Mechanized Company. The Armored Panzergrenadier Battalion here of the Panzer Division attacks here, supported by other armoured elements. So it's gone for mechanized, it's got infantry, machine gun, and mortar bullets. There's Overlord's infantry company, tactical support, and heavy cavalry there with double Jackson bulletins and an infantry bulletin. Seems like Jackson is slightly catching on there. I wonder if there's a certain Dave influence there. We got M42 Grenadier start here for Gentlefox, double rifle there for Overlord, both trying to gain control of the centre of the map here. Bit of back and forth. I think he's trying to bait the rifle out to him, that way, catch a bit there. I promise, Overlord's not budging. Of course, at the same time, essentially he's keeping 280 manpower occupied with 200 manpower, which for Gentlefox isn't too bad. But there you go, more rifle and run. We got the M4 moving up here. This sort of engagement, though, is giving a bit of a strategic advantage to Overlord, because he's basically tying up a lot of Gentlefox now. Again, now it's sort of turning around here, because now they're all here, and they're not grabbing any part of the map here except the munitions. That's actually pretty beneficial there for Overlord, who's still got the rifle squad or reactions there moving about, securing territory there. Both players actually going for very early mortar there. Very early mortars from both players. I mean, they barely got any troops on the field, and they're going for mortars, both of them. Interesting, intriguing. And we got there the Grenadier out here for Gentlefox. Shifting his force away, he's going to use the Grenadiers to grab the fuel and the Pioneers, the victory point. I figured he'd do it in reverse, because the Grenadiers would be able to more easily support the front line, and the Pioneers could just sort of safely grab things. As this a bit of an odd order, I guess, in this case, just to wall off the entrance to the the church there. But still structures a bit odd. But there we go. We got the Grenadier opening up on American position, at least suspected American position, since they're now actually slightly advanced here. The other rifle squad that's growing territory. We got the American mortar now moving up here as well. Second mortars, they're actually going double mortars here in the early game. Which again I think highlights ultimately, while they might have nerfed the range, they didn't really fix the major issue, which was the accuracy. Again, they really need to lower that one a bit. I mean, they can, happily give it the range back, but just saying. Anyways, we've got the mortar out there firing away at Gentlefox's position, trying to silence the mortar. They're getting moving up aggressively. But again, with a fast setup time, they're getting just quickly shifted out there in case Gentlefox tries to counter mortar it anyways. So right now, Gentlefox is putting a bit of bind here. Still, he's actually managed to gain some territory. Though, again, I'm a bit confused why he's using the Grenadiers, not the Pioneers for that one. More to their reposition. The Grenadiers pushing here from the northern part of the town square, or market square. The rifle flying in front. Here we got the Rearson still pushing up for around here. We got a second mortar for Gentlefox. Both players are going for double mortars. Overlord pushing for artillery advantage, and Gentlefox responding to his opponent's artillery advantage by trying to even out with a mortar of his own. So we're going to have 4 mortars on the map in less than 4 minutes. Good lord. I'm sure that's some kind of record. So, yeah. A lot of light artillery there being brought forth by both players to try and silence the other bastard's artillery, and in this case, just after that, gain dominance around the centre of the map here. So, double mortar batteries then, in a sense. He's got those sight here on the enemy mortar there. Gentlefox firing out there and getting some good hits, pushing them a bit back. Pioneers rushing forward, but they're taking fire from the rifle up here in the old cafe. Pioneers advancing a bit here as well. We got rifling up here through the east. And there you go, Grenadiers still staying back, having pushed back the reactions there. More mortar fire there raining against the cafe there. Now the rifle forced to fall back. They can't withstand the power of double German mortar. There you go, rifle trying to flank through here. They caught by the M42 right by the cemetery wall and gutted. Joe and Dave fall apart. Mortar sitting up there to sort of grab the point close to Overlord space. He's going here for an ambulance. Pretty fast heal up his troops. They've certainly taken quite a beating, so an early ambulance there makes a lot of sense there for Overlord. There's some more infantry. Oh, he's gone for Lieutenant. That certainly DOS the infantry department bit. Again, I mean, the lieutenants essentially just a really, really strong infantry squad, thanks to the Thompson and the BAI starts out with. So he's basically just a really strong infantry squad. In fact, he's probably, in that argument, you know, one of the strongest infantry squads in the game. And again, you essentially get the first one for free. I mean, obviously, if you have to replace him, he's a bit expensive, but I mean, really, again, first one's free. And you know, who also says that? Drug dealers. Yeah, exactly. Anyways, Grenadiers moving down there, Lieutenant there. Could get off some good hits there. The Grenadiers certainly will not be equipped there to fight the Lieutenant one-on-one. Mortar there pushing back the German Grenadiers. Got further wire work here, trying to prevent, you know, Overlord from easily pushing into the map here. Good work there, wiring off. Good officers wiring off. He just laying down wire here and there. But there you go, Grenadiers repulsed by Lieutenant. And here in the far east, we got push forwards there with barbed wire cutters. Again, trying to outmaneuver Gentlefox. I mean, he's trying partly, I think, to keep him penned down there, but at the same time, he's not pouring all of his resources down there towards either, which is a very sensible tactical choice there, Overlord. Again, and most players, I think, would just, you know, try and just get it there no matter the cost, which is going to be quite costly. And again, Gentlefox is basically trying to set up there as a death trap for Overlord. In this case, the Lieutenant was taking quite a bit of fire there from the German mortars. They're going to do basically spotting from the, you know, top floors of the cafe, and there we go, almost wiping the Lieutenant. Definitely, she should have pulled out there fast. That was just a waste of manpower and basically free experience for the mortars, who, thanks to the mortar experience bulletin, actually gain a bit more and thus sped up a bit fast. But there you go, again, Overlord flanking about here. But of course, we still got one problem there. That's the MD42 covering this side. This is where we probably should have brought up the mortars to just smoke up the area here. We should have gone for a deeper flank through here. Either way, though, still better than most players would have done, though. Then again, they might also have been prompted partly from the barbed wire, which again prevents them from just moving head on. But again, in this case, Gentlefox, of course, had the foresight to just have a machine gun cover that angle. Meanwhile, following up with a half-track in Mittlerer Schützenpanzerwagen, which generally, you know, each Panzer Division would only have one battalion at most cases of armoured half-tracks. The Panzerlehr in Normandy was one of the very, very few exceptions where it actually had pretty much every Panzer Grenadier battalion had half-tracks, though they very quickly lost most of them during the fighting in Normandy due to some air attacks because the commander was not apparently taking the aerial air support there seriously enough, so he just drove them back out in the open and lost a lot of it. And they didn't really get back to those numbers. But generally, though, with some exception, of course, the general number, though, was basically one half-track battalion per division, though some divisions, even elite divisions, never got any. For example, the Hammergöring Fallschirmpanzer Division never received any. But there you go. 250 and a half moving hit. They're going to spawn the Grenadiers region. That would definitely not be in a good position, though still cuts off the fuel there for Gentlefox. Reinforcing the Grenadiers at the front line. After they're supporting with its MD42, they're mounted at the front. Reasons they're able to fight here decently. Grenadiers are trying to, you know, prevent the point from being taken at the same time. That pretty much means they actually don't get cover. But there you go. Ultimate pull through. The constant fit of reinforcements, they just pushes Overlord's men back there. He's basically not falling off there. At the same time, the good assault in the centre pulled through here and actually forces Gentlefox away from there and his mortar teams as well. Here's some pretty intense fighting going on between these two players. And there you go, almost getting Gentlefox's mortar there with mortar fire of his own. And there you go, I think he's just really trying times. There you go, wipe the mortar. Gentlefox is down, one mortar. Though it's still not secured. Needs to deal there with the MD42. There you go, we got a half-track counter-attack. We got an anti-aircraft half-track as well here for Overlord. Trying to catch the Grenadiers here in the half-track. There you go. Successfully pushes back here with the half-track, and the Grenadiers half-track needs to get away before the anti-aircraft half-track fills it with holes. And there you go, Grenadiers going off a Panzerfaust. But for the problem is right now for Gentlefox, he's got no anti-tank weapons. The closest guard is the MD42, which is right now also really low on health. But he's going to have to try to think with the incendiary armor pierce rounds to have a chance as the anti-aircraft half-track, though. In theory, if Overlord wants to go straight forward, he might have a small chance. But obviously, he's not going to risk that because they could also very quickly go down. But right now, Overlord has, through all of these maneuvers, secured most of the map there against Gentlefox. On the other hand, he did not lose the half-tech. They did lose a Grenadier squad there, so he's a bit short on infantry, but still, the half-tech could give Gentlefox here a lot of mobility and, of course, frontline presence, which could allow him to push back against Overlord. Meanwhile, Overlord bringing up a 50 caliber here to support the front line against the Germans. Plus, he's going for grenades. Really, again, it's just sort of funny again. Just before again the nerf, you know, the nerfs are all the changes there. You know, barely any American player would go for the grenades. You know, now the captain is basically the students nerfed. A lot more American players suddenly realizing, hey, those grenades, man, they're kind of good. I hate them on pizza. Why would you put grenades on pizza? You know, pineapples. You disgust me, Larry. You disgust me. I don't know you anymore, Larry. I don't know you. Anyways, it's really caught on there because as they suddenly realize, hey, grenades are pretty great. Smoke grenades are also pretty great. So yeah, suddenly seems to become very meta there with the Americans going for grenades. And again, it's one of those changes certainly, like again, the sort of, you know, opens up the strategic range of the Americans in theory, though again, that just means all of them are just going in one direction now. That's called grenades. Anyways, enough about that. We got one mortar on counter barracks. He's basically just going to automize one of the mortars there to basically try and keep the Overlord's mortars being about there. Bit risk in some ways if he's not paying attention, but at the same time it could also have a good chance of versus Overlord, since again it has a chance of just knocking them out there. 50 caliber lieutenant pressing against the Grenadiers here. He could try and smoke it, thus rush it. I mean, he's got the grenades, I mean, the smoke rush there, and then flying with grenades I think would be a pretty good tactic there for Overlord. But of course the question is if he's actually that tactically advanced yet. I mean, it's not really tactic I've yet to really see from any player, smoking a place and then rushing it with grenades. So obviously, I might of course be expecting too much of Overlord. But anyways, we've got the Pack 40 covering here. In the centre we got Pioneers pushing forwards there, Rifle opening up on them. Keep it back. We're also noting Overlord's got a lot of ammunitions. I mean, he's got 2 doctrines that are up for light machine guns. I mean, he could just throw those on his rifleman right away. Oh, now the lieutenant got wiped by a direct mortar right as he exited. It's definitely one of the more frustrating types of wipes you can have. You pop out a building and then straight on mortar hit. Pioneers setting up in the church, risking a wipe there. He's not. Oh, he lost the mortar as well to the counterfire there. BAR left behind, not picking up. Their Overlord is suffering heavily due to Gentlefox's double mortars. Nasty work there. Almost got the Pioneers there, but he's also risking losing a lot there to Gentlefox. No, almost lost the rifle. Oh, he's going to lose. Maybe. After that, pushing back. And he's adding spotting scopes right to the half deck. He's adding spotting scopes. I don't think he's realised again the BAR's lying there. Looks like he has. And there goes the cure sit. 5th coming, needs to get away. He's mortaring there, the German mortars, but he still needs to get his Overlords. And there you go. Looks like he's got it back. But needs to shoot the 50 caliber now. Grenades off. There we go. But the smoke screen would have helped a lot more. And now just full retreat here from Overlord. He suffered rather grievously here against Gentlefox. Again, trying to attack here, but again, rather, lacking that ability to push through because he didn't lay down any smoke screens. He just suffered in front of Gentlefox's defences. In particular, the withering mortar fire, they really just took out a lot of losses on the Overlord. And as a fun fact, German mortar crews were quite experienced, and I think the Americans and maybe the Allies in general suffered most losses actually from mortars in Normandy. So that's a little fun detail there. We got a mortar abandoned there, and actually I don't think Gentlefox wants to recruit that. I mean, he's got 2 mortars of his own already. A 3rd one I think would be overkill, particularly the American mortar, though again it does have the same accuracy, but it would add a lot more management due to the smaller range. And I think he just wants to standardise, just have 2 mortars with the exact same range, so he doesn't have to worry about that one. So I think it's not a bad idea just trying wreck the mortar there rather than trying to grab it. But again, Overlord, again, not. Oh, there we go. Now it's actually just straight ahead. But at least it's also pressing the right flank there against Gentlefox. Good work. Going straight ahead. The rifle with BAR grenades. Half-track Pioneers there. Out in the open. No real cover there for Overlord. We've got double grenades off against the Pioneers. Doing some damage there. Half-track continue to covering fire. One of these Pioneers reinforcing. There we go. The assault breaks off again. The half-track here providing a strong point for Gentlefox. A Schwerpunkt for his infantry. That way making him a lot harder to remove from the battlefield. Again, the half-track really is a very good thing to have for the Wehrmacht, and I would almost say it can at times be completely critical. So I mean, really excellent choice there by Gentlefox. Excellent choice. And also good use of it overall. Putting back his half-track there. I mean, he could also go for a half-track of his own. I mean, he has tactical support. He could go for the M5 of his own. That way, return the favour to Gentlefox. Lost and mortar again. In fact, he's down 2 mortars now. Not good for Overlord, but he's also harassing at least. He's got the Major out, so might try and rush out some armor there versus Gentlefox. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea, but I do think he shouldn't, pull that assault. He could have both, either trying to flank through here, get behind Gentlefox from that angle, again, sort of bigger flank through here. Panzer Grenadier around there for Gentlefox and the Panzerlehr Panzer Division. Pack 40 running back. One of these Pioneers moving out now. Again, he's sort of less on the defensive now. Attacking Gentlefox's time to be aggressive again. The half-tech is really helping with that because it also means he doesn't have to retreat. And again, that is also one of the reasons again why the half-tech is so great. It just allows you to maintain momentum. So when I say go for a half-tech, I do sincerely mean it. The half-tech, no matter what faction you're playing and get it, is pretty good. It's also why I'm kind of sad the Oberkommanders can't get one because again, it's supposed the Ardennes aggressive faction, yet it doesn't really have one of the best tools for being aggressive, which is a half-track. Anyways, half-track being watched to take on it is falling back. MG42 coming up from the northern half of the cafe. up northern half, you know, upper floors. Mortify rain down the centre here. We got the half-tech rolling back. Close to Veterancy 2. Good work. Very good work. Almost Veterancy 3. The half-tech panzer is occurring the point here. And back here, Pioneers reinforcing. No further take of that for Gentlefox. So, I mean, Overlord could actually push for an arm advantage there versus Gentlefox, which is definitely good idea. Might allow him to regain full momentum there versus Gentlefox, pushing back into the defensive again and maybe secure some more map. No Sherman as of yet. He's lost another gun crew there. Probably his own mortar getting wiped again. Gentlefox's mortar there definitely putting a problem again. He's always got one on counter barrage fire. Always, it seems like now. Which is definitely not a bad idea either. But he's got two of them. And there goes secure the mortar again. Again, I mean, it is important to note that, again, Overlord's not just bashing his head into all. He's, you know, actively trying to outmaneuver Gentlefox. He's just at times, you know, gets, you know, obsessed with that head-on assault and then doesn't lay down smoke streams, which really would do a lot for him, again, in negating some of Gentlefox's firepower. He's also gone for Panzerix here, which I think certainly indicates Gentlefox is a bit worried about enemy armor if he's willing to go for Panzerix, because it could also be taken up, but again, the constant harassment has put it behind Overlord in that sense, and there we go. Overlord, they're able to call up some tanks to support the 35th Infantry Division. After they're almost Veterancy 3, which amongst other things, you know, also actually gives it a slight boost to its DPS, 20%. Each actually lowers the cooldown, so I suppose it's, you know, a bit of a fat DPS increase there. Also, more line of sight, which allows to be even better spotted there with that one. Of course, further reinforcement range again allows you to just, you know, be further behind if necessary to reinforce. There you go. You got a Sherman out there for Overlord. Troops are ready as well. Major moving ahead. Could of course be used to call in some artillery strikes and any sort of Gentlefox's hard points. And there you go, trying to flank for the north, but in this case his flank was, I think, a bit too slow, giving Gentlefox ample time to then start defense, in this case the MD-42 number 2 by the way, so that way fought a assault through there. Good work by him. But still, he has contained Gentlefox once more to a sort of smaller part of the map here, back sort of controlling most of it. Going for the centre again, and we can see that Gentlefox set up both mortars now on counter barrage fire, both of them. He really wants the American mortar dead. He wants it very dead. Sherman there with high explosive rounds. He's obviously not expecting any armor there from Gentlefox. The harassment, I think he's probably feeling confident, has been pretty good. Gentlefox bothers yet to take up. Is he planning for a command tank right now? The failed Panzerwagen? It would seem so. Overlord could aim for a Scott. He could also try and set up for another Sherman. He's also got a lot of manpower, so I mean, expending some on Cashews or, I don't know, Doctrine and then Rangers. But I definitely don't think he should be floating a lot of manpower right now. But I think he also at this point is trying to figure out how he wants to approach Gentlefox. I mean, Gentlefox right now is putting up a very strong defense. I mean, the half-track is definitely doing a lot there and just providing him with a very sort of, well, enduring defense, because again, he can just reinforce. So, and obviously, this is causing Overlord there to sort of assess his battle plans. I'll definitely keep the major as part of the spearhead. I mean, as soon as you see anything calling artillery on, do it, and that way, you know, try and push through. We'll have to see. Looks like Overlord is planning to use the Sherman to flank through the hook behind his lines. That's actually not a bad idea, because it's back 40. It's expecting an assault from the front, so sort of half-deed assault through here could actually do a lot of damage to Gentlefox. I mean, hell, this Panzer is all remote on the eastern flank as well there. Command tank over there for Gentlefox. Again, he's setting up now. Sherman. He's switching over time of his rounds. He's actually worried about armor, it seems. And there you go. Command tank out there for Gentlefox at the same time. And there you go, attacking the infantry company. Trying to deny Gentlefox access to basic infantry, mortars, and the sniper. Interesting choice there. And he's actually got down to half level already here. Sherman number 2 on the way there for Overlord. We got the Pack 40 and the Panzer gun. He's quickly pursuing the position. He's almost got it. And there you go. Pack 40 opens up. Need to pull back here. And he gets the infantry company. He does get it. We got the resistance moving up there for some reason. They're also quickly scurried away there. In the centre, then following up with the grenade that gets the grenadiers. And succeeds. Continue to retreat here in the west. The base harassment there has, well, slightly delayed, I think, Gentlefox from doing anything else because he's quick to replace it. Obviously because also, without the infantry company, he's access to no Panzerfaust. Oh dear, slight judgment error there, some issues with the micromanagement. Either way, the Sherman goes down. Should I think just been fast to pull it out there because, again, with no info support. Well, things are going to turn out. So there and there go. Sherman down for Overlord. A bit of a senseless loss, to be honest. I think could have been avoided. He's also lost a few rifles, it seems like. He's actually short on a lot of things, and he's lost a lot of manpower again. I think he needs to just end up going for heavy cavalry, just to call in some rangers maybe, just get a lot of rifling out or build some caches. Just spend that manpower, you know, pressure your opponent better, Overlord. I mean, right now, Gentlefox got an overall larger force, meaning he can overall utilize his resources more directly against what he's got, you know. So spend it, Overlord, spend it. I mean, come on, Overlord, you're playing against the Americans. Moderate defense spending is not something that should be accepted. Ah! Oh, that was not good there by Overlord. That was a terrible move. Again, he rushed in his Sherman there with pretty much no support, no screen, no nothing, and I mean, if he gets this Sherman away in one piece, he's going to be very lucky there, but it's not looking like it because, again, he can barely get anything up there in time. The command tank could very well knock it out there with a bit of luck there, plus the Pack 40 is still hot in pursuit. So that was really not a good move there by Overlord. That was not good at all. Need to keep pulling back it though. Damaging the command tank. Almost got the Pack 40. If we could actually wipe them and steal, that would actually be pretty great there for Overlord. That would be pretty great. He's almost got it there. Rifle advancing. Taking a hit there though from the command tank. And looks like he gets away. We've got a half-track rushing in. Grenades off on the Pioneers, doing a bit of damage. More victory for the Riflemen. Veterans won the command tank. 4 kills for the fatherland. Grenadiers Panzers there arriving. Half-track just support. And there you go. Pretty much ensures again he doesn't need to retreat the Pioneers. Can just reinforce them and get to work. And even reinforce the Pack 40 right then and there. Sherman being fixed up. Half-track they've been repaired as well. And there we go. He ultimately, you know, begins spending some of that manpower, begins calling in range. He's also got plenty of munitions. He could have gone for weapon racks as well. So, really strategic mistake there. Now we got Panzer Grenadiers and all that rushing out the Sherman. Gentlefox there really wants that Sherman dead. Instead loses the veterancy free half-track. Does not pull it off. I mean, it's not a catastrophic loss, but definitely not a good trade here. I mean, it was a worthy attempt, I think. But, yeah. I mean, he could actually, you know, call in smoke bombs to allow the half-track to get away. And he has gone for mechanized. Funny thing is, he's only used it for the spotting scopes and the command tank as of yet. So, I mean, he could do a bit more with it. He's going for a replacement half-track at the very least. Good work there. Going for a 2-2 as well, though. That's a curious choice. I think, you know, try and actually build for more tanks now. Command tank rolling ahead. Overlord here. I mean, he could go for the Pershing now, but it's just, again, he could have, then should have built much more fuel caches sooner on again, just, you know, be able to dominate the map better with Rangers early on. So, I don't know. I think right now a Jackson tank destroyer to help deal with the command tank. Any other armor Gentlefox might bring up would be the best idea. Pressure on the east, even as he's losing ground in the centre and the west, though. He's trying to take advantage of Gentlefox's sort of heavy push here. And there we go. We got the second 250.5 to get out there for him. Ambulance abandoned. Took a direct hit there from something. Getting the fuel point in the east. Good work there by Overlord. More re-echelons. He might use them to just recruit the ambulance. He could try and push up the major here, sort of move up through the centre here and sort of flank with an artillery strike there on Gentlefox. In fact, he hasn't used the major artillery barrels, but again, it is getting increasingly popular. So, despite him going for grenades, he's not using that one, which is a mild surprise. And again, I would figure, you know, if he's using grenades like that, he's actually not even using smoke grenades, so maybe not. I mean, he would use this one because, again, it's an excellent artillery ability now for just 60 munitions. Well, he's using the major. Yeah, he used to be a doctor. Doctor? Yes. I used to be a proctologist. Anyway, so something about there. Rangers occupying the church with their Thompson submachine guns, hitting the western field point here. It's only been a lively match so far. Rearland's half-track slowly creeping up the eastern side. They're going for the eastern road network. Interesting enough, the Rangers not trying to push further forward. I mean, you could actually, you know, try and sort of flank behind, hook behind Gentlefox, then try and, you know, go through here and then hit the mortars. I mean, that could be a pretty good idea, but So final time they got Rifle trying to push head on. Let's go. They got double grenades off it again. No smoke. Oh, wow, the Panzer Grenadiers actually. They'd have lost the Major following up. Half check again supporting. Mortars doing what they can. No artillery from the Major, and again no deep flank with the Rangers. He's losing out a bit of the opportunity, I think, for Overlord there. Still, getting those Panzer Grenadiers were not a bad idea. Actually, also just see more Panzer Grenadiers now for Gentlefox, and still no support McCall. Really should be getting one up though, I think. Now, it helps if Overlord insists on tanking with his tank head on instead of trying to outmaneuver Gentlefox there as well. Smoke screen down there from the Sherman. Rangers now advancing against the Grenadiers. At least there's some progress happening on the far right flank, but he needs to reinforce it with more infantry and vehicles. I mean, again, good flank through here. Just getting behind Gentlefox, I think, could prove quite devastating. In particular, then conducted with a Major who calls an artillery strike, but the Major's stuck in the ambulance. Ooh, close to losing those Rangers. That'd be a bit of a loss there for Overlord. I mean, he's still floating a ton of manpower. Come on, Overlord. There's no reason for that. Don't be silly. And it looks like those Rangers are going to die. Yup. Wiped. And of course, quick replacement. Of course, could also just have 2 Rangers out by now. Maybe even 3 and still be able to go for the Pershing. So, I think Overlord is sort of struggling a bit strategically here against Gentlefox. Overlord just seems to have much, tighter strategy. But again, he needs to go for some armor. But still, he's able to execute a very strong defense now. So they again had pushed ahead quite successfully. Again, thanks to the half track. Again, go for half tracks, kids. They're great.
A capture point is under attack.
Graham Neeson victory point there. Again, he's, I think, also tactically being to hurt here from all the other mistakes there. And he's now just resorting again to more brute violence, assaults here, which, again, against well-coordinated. Oh, he actually popped the smoke screen now. 26 minutes in the game, he pops the smoke screen. Hooray. Panzer there running to trouble the half-tick Rangers moving to flank in. Rifle Norton moving up there. Now pushing through the smoke screen. Grenade off there. So he can actually do it. It's just, why didn't he do that earlier when he could have? I mean, this game could have looked more different. It might even have ended much sooner in favour of Overlord there if he just did that. But, oh well. Guess we'll never find out. Half-tick repositioning. Mortars, I think, need to be more careful. And there you go. Now he's also putting up the deeper flank by the looks of it. But again, he could have done that sooner. And the Sherman's not taking part of it, nor is the half-track. Which is probably what should be the critical part of the flanking force as well. But oh well. Instead he's just now suffering a lot there to the mortars. Bleeding out while still also waiting for the Pershing. There you go. Pack before he turns back, gets a good hit on the Sherman. Need to pull that one back immediately. In further flank through here. Good work. At least he's trying to cut off the Gentlefox's resources from the west. There you go. Right to mortify the command tank and who knows what other nasty German business. Second Ranger squad out there for Overlord now. Close losing the half there, but does get away with it. Sherman all the way over here, crashing into houses, looks for a safe spot to repair in. We'll try and rush the mortars there. We've got Pioneers moving to intercept. Troops reinforcing, 50 caliber and everything else there. And we got the second Ranger squad moving up towards the west. He's very close to the Pershing there. He is very close. And there you go. Pioneers run to the top of the Rangers and the Thompson submachine gun. Panzer Grenadiers trying to catch the Rangers and save the Pioneers. Veteran 50 on the MD-42. Veers from Rangers on to the other MD-42 in the west there. Pershing are ramming here for Overlord. M26 Pershing. Half-track Sherman there standing about on the east side. He's going to roll up the Pershing through the centre. He might run into some issues there. Looks like the West M4 trajectory positioning. Head on assault with the Pershing. Wipes the veteran for the MD-42 there. Right away. Half-track needs to go either straight into a telemine though. Straight into a telemine. Half health lost. Good work there by Gentlefox. Mines win wars, as they say. Well, at least I say. Going for a Stuka is finally taken up, and a Sturmgeschütz here I think is an excellent choice here versus the Pershing. An excellent choice. Fifth cover rifle here, we got the command tank Veteran 2 pushing ahead. They're going to need to prioritise fixing the Pershing rapidly. Meanwhile, Rangers moving up straight to the line, 5 M14 to get the recent support back, hit support and repair. Again, needs to get it fixed. He needs to press it back to the action. Oh, he's going to try and attack head on. He should try and flank. He should try and flank with infantry. Instead, he's moving the Pershing of the Sherman here right in front of, you know, everything of Gentlefox defense again. He's moving in front of the force instead of trying to hit the force from the side with the rings and the half track. Grave tactical error there by Overlord. Grave tactical error. Missed an opportunity. I think they do a lot of good damage to Gentlefox there. But still, he's maintaining good map control, but he's beginning to bleed out there. Again, strategically, his sins are beginning to catch up with him, and it's also causing him to make a more, I think, tactical misjudgment, despite, again, early on, I think, playing quite well. Whereas Gentlefox is just, you know, playing a lot more stable there. Spotting scopes on the way there for Gentlefox. Spotting scopes for the Stuke as well. In fact, everything is spotting scopes, the second half track there.
Send your orders. Waiting orders.
Rangers half track there, making moves in the east. We got the Stuke moving straight to his base though. I think that's a bit bold there by Gentlefox, but he's going to use the Stuke and the scripts to transport up as opponents and then maybe deal with it. But in this case, realise he's going to get rust if he does that.
We're at 200 points.
Got Panzer going to be moving up the Grenadier squad in support. Rangers bit down there, falling back. Being suppressed there by the MD-42 here. There you go, command tank advances, 17 kills. Now we got a smoke screen down now from doctrinal smoke, and there you go on the MD-42 there. Hit some of the vehicles as well there. Got the Sherman hit. Where's the Pershing? Where's the Pershing? Don't make piecemeal attacks, Overlord. Don't attack one at a time. Combined arms assaults, please. Rather slow here. There we go. Pershing now arrives to support the scene here, but it's already slightly going awry there. The Rangers aren't supporting. There's no artillery support for that matter, which could have helped a bit there. And the Pershing was also late to the party, so everything rather went south there. Now it's just sort of, it's a bit more chaotic here for Overlord. Just pieces being thrown at Gentlefox, and Gentlefox then, of course, with a much more coordinated defense, just swatting them aside like flies. Fat American flies. Yeah, it's nothing like our German flies, much more efficient and less annoying. Need to fix up the Pershing again here. Oh dear, that half track's gonna go down in flames. Stuke down, hot pursuit, and there you go, almost got it, almost got it. Oh, he's making a shot maneuver there, it's sharp, but is it enough? No, taken out with a rocket. And left to burn. Scott on the way for Overlord now. I think he'd go for Jackson maybe, but I don't know, I suppose that could do a bit of artillery support there for Overlord, but I mean, the thing is, tactically, he's sort of very close at several times, but he just can't quite pull it together into a bigger, cohesive whole, whereas again, Gentlefox's defensive are just more cohesive. And that rather gives Gentlefox the edge there, and again, his defenses just work better. Almost got the punch grenadiers there. Almost got a wipe there. There we go. Rangers, Sherman, Pershing there, sweeping up for the right flank. Gentlefox defense is crumbling, being annihilated. And then straight into a mine with the Sherman right in front of the Stuke. Completely obliterating sort of part of the armoured spearhead. The Pershing immediately pulls back with the damaged engine. The infantry charges forward. All of a sudden, Overlord's push is turning into a complete mess there. I think he might have hit another telemine. There's something with the Pershing as well there. That thing's been doing more work as a minesweeper than a heavy tank almost. Ranger squad wiped. Moving in the Stuke, there's going to target weak point, I imagine. Almost got it there. Takes a hit there, and there you go. Clears the line of fire, but can't get there to Stuke. Oh! Ah! Yes! Ah, but the Pershing still shoots! Knocking out the Stuke, but the Pack 40 gets vengeance. Still, Overlord, I think at this point has lost too much here. The 35th Division will be forced to fall back. The division positions overrun by the Panzerlehr Panzerdivisions gepanzerte Panzergrenadierkompanie.
A capture point is being overrun.
Still he's holding on for now. He's holding on for now.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points. Orders. Our supply line just got cut off.
Got the range hitting the victory point there. We've got the command tank nearby, and there we go, repulsing them pretty rapidly. You could go for Sherman. I could also go for Jackson. I'm surprised they like to try Jackson at all, but I'm guessing he just figured it wasn't necessary. Oh yeah, he's going for the Jackson, but might be a bit too late now. We got the command tank rushing straight for his base by the looks of it. Oh, Gentlefox here feeling very confident versus Overlord. I mean, he's got no anti-tank weapon, so that's the only way out there. Going straight for the ambulance, quickly abandon their major out in the open. There you go, ambulance kaput. Push into the west here. Pioneers put back with the rifle and the rear echelons. Range getting obliterated here by the command tank. 100 points left for Overlord. Jackson almost done, but can he pull through with this? Is there victory at the end of the tunnel? That is not for the Germans, but so looking like a very German victory here. Just about to get wiped. Rangers almost dead as well. 87 points left. Troops. Oh, grenade against the Panzer Grenadiers. Almost got the rifleman. Almost 50 feet in the command tank. Jackson arrives here for Overlord. Wiping the remaining rifle squad. Pack 40 Jackson gets a good hit there. Target weak point ready. Veteran free, by the way. I mean, he's pretty much penned inside his base now. And there we go. Overlord surrenders. The 35th is broken in the face of Gentlefox's Panzerlehr. Overall, nice extra sort of moves there, but Gentlefox, to an extent, he's suffered a bit in early game due to again Overlord playing very aggressively, even with the mods all about that going about. Overlord was still able to pull off some good pressure, but he made some rather tactically questionable decisions at times, which rather cost, I think, Overlord quite a bit. And particularly the initial assault here, he should have smoked the runner's force with grenades, but never did that. So rather than at times, he's just suffering huge loss, which allowed Gentlefox to push ahead. And at the same time, while he could flank, at the same time, he could never quite seemingly pull it together for a big, overall push, and his resource times just wasn't very efficiently utilised. So there were some issues there for Overlord that could be improved upon. Gentlefox, I think, could also use the half check a bit more aggressively, flanked a bit more, and he certainly could have more armour sooner as well. But overall, I mean, well played by Gentlefox, a very sort of solid, cohesive defence against Overlord's attacks, and of course, able to sort of take advantage as they sort of increasingly grew more ragged and disparate. So, I mean, overall, I think a pretty interesting fight here between two good players, but again, Overlord just couldn't keep it up. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, why not subscribe to your friends? Share it with everyone. If not, send a replay and some feedback in the comment section. And if you like what I do day after day, do consider donating, or pledging on Patreon. Links are in the video description. Every bit of support you can, provide is appreciated. This is Imperial Lynching. Cheers. Thank you all for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye.